Well, hey guys, welcome back, and if you're new, you're so welcome and so appreciated. Well guys, today I did a Christmas tray and I made it with resin, and it's so cute and adorable. I love the colors. So what you're going to need are some of these disposable pour cups, also some resin if you're going to use food grade resin, for if you're using food, but I'm not, so I'm just using regular resin. Also some mica powder, and I'm going to be using some really Christmassy festive items like gold foil and crushed glass. But guys, always remember to wear a respirator, gloves, and also goggles just to use for protection whenever you're using resin, especially when you're heating it up. Okay, also we're going to be using some of these handles and of course my mold. And we'll leave all that in the description bar below. So the first thing we're going to do is mix our colors, of course. I'm going to be using a nice red, not any green, but just red, gold, and silver, just regular traditional colors. And I'm just going to mix those together, and I'm going to add in my gold foil into my resin also. The crushed glass, I'll show you how we'll use those in just 1 second. But yeah, so you just want to add enough of this to make sure that it's, you know, based on your aesthetic and what you want it to look like. Now what I do was, if I'm using any crystals, I'll glue those down to the board or whatever. If I'm doing something small like a small resin tray, I'll just go ahead and add my crushed glass on, and then I'll come back and pour the resin on top, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it around the outside just to make sure that I'm creating a space for it, and then I'm going to go back over it and cover it up. And for me, that's like the easiest way to create small geodes. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my gold foil, and I want this to be all around the edges, and I also want it to blend it in around the geode area, and that's what you see me doing here. But as you can see, it's really thick, and that's because I really didn't want it to have too much movement and get too muddy later on. Now I'm just going to add in my red, and as you can see, it's all of the festive Christmas colors are coming together perfectly. And like I said, if you want to use it with food, like a bigger tray, you can always use food grade resin, and yeah. So I'm going to be using this in my kitchen for when I'm cooking to rest my olive oil bottle on. So yeah, so I'm going to go back with some clear just to make sure that I'm keeping all of the colors basically separated. And I'm also going to go back and add some on top of my crushed glass to make sure that it's completely covered and I don't have to worry about going back and doing a flood coat later. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour some on top of the gold foil just to break it up a little bit. And I'm going to go back and add my red now. But how you do it, guys, is up to you. Just go ahead and pour. So after about 15 minutes, I went ahead and hit it with my heat gun. That's when all the bubbles start coming up. Different resins are a little different, but this one only takes about 15 minutes. I also went back and waited about another 10 minutes and then hit it with the heat gun again, just to make sure I wasn't going to have any of those little bubbles coming up later. And then what I did was I went and got my handles, and I'm going to put those in and just basically wait for 24 hours. And so this is the next day. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's dry, but it is. And I'm going to remove my mold. And guys, you can use these resin molds again and again. Just make sure that when you use your heat gun that you don't hit the mold with it and you'll have to get a new mold. But otherwise, it'll be perfect. As you can see, it's coming out perfectly clean. So I want to show you guys the bottom of it, and yeah, these handles turned out pretty good. So I like the way it turned out. Actually, I love the way it turned out. So yeah, this turned out perfect, guys. I will be using this year after year and pull it out for the holiday season. I hope you guys like the way it turned out, and you can style this so many different ways, but I'll show you how I styled it. I have it in my kitchen with my olive oil bottle sitting on it. But yeah, I hope you guys like this DIY. This was so much fun to do this in some Christmas colors. Very festive. If you guys like this video, Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit the bell for notifications so that way you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And so guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and also guys, stay safe out there, keep your head up, and yeah, see you next time.